Hello, it's Roger Bisbee here from the Skill Builder channel. We've got a question from Victor. He's bought this old stone house here and he's got a few problems which are unusual damp problems, I would say, not the usual thing that you might imagine. Now, it looks to me as if he's got a damp proof course that's been cut in here. That is an attempt to solve a rising damp problem that he's got. You can see here that they've filled in a doorway here. He said his neighbours' houses are dry. They haven't got any problems with damp, it's only him. Now, just here on the pavement, he's got an old coal chute and it's just a steel plate over it, not one of those nice cast iron ones. Obviously there's leaking going on there. There must be water getting in there, and if he's got an old coal chute, he must have had a cellar at some point. They must have gone down there to the cellar, but there isn't actually a cellar there now, which suggests that it's all been filled in. Somebody's chucked a load of rubbish under there, and this is the damp that he's got in the wall. And here again, another bit of damp on the wall. It's an air brick there, and that may be that air brick goes directly to the outside. I can't imagine it's doing anything else. He's also very helpfully sent this drawing that he's done. Beautiful drawing, and it shows what's going on. So here's the metal lid to the coal chute, and that came in under there. This is just a load of old earth that seems to have just moved forward. He's saying that this wasn't like it when he first looked, and it seems to be that it's just moving along. And there's some old bricks there. He's got this small area of occasional damp which is inside the house. It's not on the external wall. So let's just have a look at his other one. So this is another one. It shows that he's got roughly 3 feet there, or 900 millimeters of space. It's a real mystery, this, isn't it? Because you can't imagine how they ever access that coal chute. So here's another drawing he's done, and this shows the coal chute, and it's on the bend of that house. It's a corner property which curves around, so there's no real damp there, but he's got damp here on the internal wall, he's got damp here on a brick wall, he's got damp by the staircase which we just saw in that photograph, and a little bit of damp on the back there. He says this hasn't always been there. This is something that's recently come to light. So here he's got his rainwater drain, he's got his neighbour's rainwater drain, and an old lead water main that comes up in there. Now, that lead water main must be coming in from the street, so this pavement walkway that he's got here, it's an old lead main. So what I said to him is have a listen, put your ear to the tap and see if you can hear the sound of running water when nothing else is being used in the house, because that is an indication of a leaking water main. I've been out to many of these in the past, and it's usually because somebody can hear this water running in the night and they're thinking, well, I haven't flushed the loo, I haven't used anything, so where's it coming from? My guess is it may be soaking the whole of the underside of that house, because if you had a previously dry house and then it suddenly starts getting wet, or it gets wet over the course of 2 years, you've got to think about what has changed. He's checked the gullies, he said he's checked his rainwater drains at the back here, checked they're all clear, and he's had a look under there, and he's going to do a bit more work and maybe lift some boards and try to get under there to have a look and see what's going on. And he also said rather bravely that he's going to clear all that mess that's under the floor, all this that's here that is built up. And that's a great idea, because you really need to get a bit of air, some ventilation going under that floor, get the air bricks working as they should. But you can see here his bit of damp that he's talking about is 70 centimeters. So if you think about that, that's just over 2 feet high, and it goes all the way along there. So there's something going on. Victor has got a problem which a couple of people have been round and said what we're going to do is hack off all the plaster, and we're going to put on a sand and cement waterproof render all the way around and replaster it, having put in some dry rods, which would be a good idea if this was caused by plain simple rising damp, but it's not, I don't think. I think the fact that it hasn't been the case for years and then it suddenly is the case, and the fact that previous owners have done this bit of work here, putting in a damp proof course all the way along there to try, I guess, and stop some kind of rising damp around that window, is an indication of something, isn't it? I don't know about windows, condensation, all the rest of it. Looks like they might be single glazed windows, and somebody's put up some kind of film, I guess, to try and keep the heat in. But I hope that helps you, Victor. I hope you can get to the bottom of that problem, but I would avoid having those walls hacked off at this moment. You may have to have them hacked off eventually, because that damp may have put salts in the wall, and even if you cure the damp, the salts can attract more damp. So it may well be that in the end you need to have a bit of a replastering job done, and at that point it would do no harm whatsoever to put in some dry rods all the way round to prevent any rising damp in the future. But immediately I'd be looking for a cause, something that's happened over the last couple of years. So if you've got a question, send it in. The Skill Builder help desk is open for business.